Welcome back to the Cinema Clubhouse podcast. I am Travis.
And I'm Will.
And today we are joined by a very special guest. Please welcome to the show our friend Sean. Yay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Sean. Thanks for being here.
Happy to be here.
Today is an important day.
I mean, more important than any other day, Travis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because today we're talking Star Wars.
We never talked Star Wars before.
And that's pretty
It's not
important.
in depth.
No, just casually. We do mention it a lot, I think, throughout all our episodes, but this one is about Star Wars.
Yes.
So
it's
it's
kind
a
of
little-
Star
little
Wars
different.
month. We
Yeah.
got Mandalorian and Grogu in theaters right now.
Yeah.
And so we figure what better time, right?
There's
May
no
the 4th,
time.
We got a new movie in theaters in like the first time in a decade, so
That's what it feels like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. So today we're going to be ranking the Star Wars live action films.
get your hate comments ready.
Will's ready for the hate, guys.
I love
He
it.
gave me a hint, and I know he's going to get it.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
And Sean, you might throw a curveball at us, and you might get some hate.
Yeah.
No,
I might get some hate too. Who knows?
Maybe we'll get love instead, because
Maybe.
the internet is a place full of nothing but
Nothing
love
but love,
and
especially when it comes to
kindness.
Star Wars. It's
Love
nothing
is
but
the
nice.
ultimate curveball.
Yeah. If all of our lists are accepted,
Yeah.
like with open arms, that would be a treasure.
I'm going to give that a
0%.
Yeah.
No, I actually think that even if it's not accepted, people having a healthy debate, notice the word in there, healthy,
Yes.
is encouraged and
Yes.
totally fine.
Yes. And these are just our opinions that matter.
We can have opinions.
We can have opinions here.
I think.
So we're going to go one at a time, read our list from worst to best, and then have a friendly discussion on why we settled at movies at each spot. And then we're also going to give a brief plan, a 5-year plan for what we would do with Star Wars if, we were in charge.
Because it seems like whoever's in charge of Lucasfilm now, I don't know who, but
It might have changed
They don't
since we
seem
shot
to
this.
know what's happening 5 years from now. They make plans, they cancel plans, rinse and repeat. So
Well, in fairness, Dave Filoni did just take over earlier this year.
True.
So we haven't actually seen his long-term plan yet.
I'm sure he has one. But in case he needs some inspiration, that's why we're making this.
yeah, Dave Filoni, if you're watching, we're gonna give you some great ideas.
What do you mean?
to
If
roll
we
with.
know he's watching, he's one of our 5 viewers.
That's true. That's true.
He's the only person we can reach outside of your parents' house. But hey, we're happy for it. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so we're starting with the sweet bottom, right? The sweetest spot on this list. We've talked.
I don't like that phrase.
Well, I didn't like it either, but it just happened. Some list we have a top and bottom, and there's not a big gap in between those. Like it has to go there because I like it a little less than this. I feel like with Star Wars, there's bigger gaps. Like movies belong here because they're lower, right?
I would agree.
So, starting my list at spot 11 will be Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
Next, in spot 10, barely missed spot 11, is Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Then we have Solo, A Star Wars Story. Then, in spot 8, Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And in spot 7, fittingly, Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I was hoping my list would just be the order. That'd be nice. It did not work out that way. Then in spot 6, Episode 1, Phantom Menace. In spot 5, Episode 4, A New Hope. Or Star Wars, as we were originally introduced to it. In the 4th spot, we have Rogue One. In the 3rd spot, we have Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. 2nd spot, Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. And at the number 1 spot, Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Wow. Okay.
That is my list.
Very balanced. So Revenge of the Sith won.
Yes.
Explain yourself.
It's perfect.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
To me, it is.
okay.
It ties up the whole Skywalker saga and sets everything into motion. It's the tragic fall of Anakin.
Yeah.
And, it's cinematically beautiful. I love it. Arguably one of the best lightsaber duels in Star Wars.
What do you mean one of? It clearly has the best.
Well, I'd say Maul Shadowlord had some good ones that I have to re-rank now.
Okay.
This is
okay.
the best. It is the best. No, the fall of Anakin fully turning to the dark side, seeing that play out, makes the other ones impactful. Makes the original trilogy hit a little harder.
I could definitely get on board with it being the best of the prequels.
Yeah,
Don't quite have it as high on my list, but
not surprised.
yeah, it's no, I agree. It definitely hits a lot harder. I think it's the most consistent of the prequel movies.
Yeah, I think, and again, it's hard. All of the movies have cheesy dialogue.
Sure.
They all struggle with that. That's just the thing. Whatever. But when you get past that, and I think just seeing the fall, it's sad, and you don't want it to happen.
Well, besides the amazing cinematography, something that I think 3 really has going for it is active protagonists.
Yeah.
They are not waiting for something to happen. They
Yeah.
are driving to the next action, to
Yeah.
the next plot point. And it is a freight train of momentum.
It is, and it starts that way. The movie starts out that way, and it doesn't stop until it's over. Seeing the fall of the Jedi is just tragic. The score, the music, everything hits so hard, and you're just like, if people, I think, could have got past the prequels and what they thought they were and just appreciate it. I think when you watch it now as an adult, it does. You see the sadness and the tragedy in this movie, and it's just like, golly, it makes it so much worse.
Yeah, and probably the most emotional lightsaber duel
Yeah.
of the series.
Yeah. So that's why it's number 1. I mean, it's just, I saw it 15 times in the theater,
Wow.
and I dressed up 10 of those times.
Wow.
And let
That's
me
good.
tell you, a month into release, I was the only one still dressing up.
Remember the only one in the theater.
No, there was people there, but I was definitely always the
Yeah.
lone Darth Vader.
Oh, full Darth Vader.
Full Darth Vader. Well,
Did you have any
half-masked
trouble
Darth
seeing the movie?
I did watch it once with the mask on.
Wow.
It's extremely hot.
Wild.
But no, it's my favorite. I know prequels have a lot of, misrepresentation.
Yeah.
So I think that statement actually has to do more with what generation's watching it.
Yeah.
So if you talk to a lot of people in their 30s and 40s now, they actually have a lot of love and respect for the prequels because they were going in with a different mindset rather than the people who watched the original trilogy
Right.
back in 70s, 80s, and then early 90s. And the prequels, if you read online, are starting to get a lot more love and not nearly as much hate. And I think besides just time, another reason for that is also what Disney's done with the franchise. And there's more vitriol towards that than
Yes.
the prequels. And it's shifted.
It's more like, hey, we kind of turned our back against the guy that gave us this and didn't understand what he was trying to do. And we kind of pushed him out.
Is there anything else that caught your eye on his list that kind of stood out?
Something that stood out to me
Yes.
was episode 9 at the very bottom.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think the reason it's at the bottom is because it's kind of a hot mess of fixing things that The Last Jedi undid. And to me, it's hard to enjoy because, I would have just appreciated if they still just where Rian Johnson took it. I don't agree with and I didn't like. But finish, just end the story. Don't go undo. Because the whole movie is just kidding. So it's like we had no second part. And the second movie in a trilogy is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes it when you watch it, you're just like, that's the undoing of that. That's the undoing of that. And
Rise of Skywalker very much is a rebuttal to The Last Jedi. And
Yeah.
I don't know the exact timestamps, but it probably spends about half its time trying to backtrack on the direction that
Yeah.
Last Jedi went.
yeah, and there are things I think are cool in it. I liked the force, I don't know, connection and that whole element and the passing of items through the force was crazy and it was hard to wrap my head around, but in the moment it was cool. But like I said, the whole movie is undoing The Last Jedi. So it seems kind of
Although
counterproductive.
that particular ability was something that was explored in The Last Jedi that was carried
Yes.
over.
Yes. So I just wish they would have been let's just end what we have where it is and not try to undo stuff. And I think that's my problem with it. It's just the whole movie's undoing. So we don't get to relish in the characters at all because you're just we're fixing this. And Kylo going good, I just like, that's just too generic. And it's like, I don't think that was the intention ever. I think he was just gonna be. Sometimes characters are just bad,
Well,
and I can accept that.
my guess on that one,
Yeah.
not being part of the production, I'm just reading into this as a fan.
You weren't part of the production.
I know, right? It would have been nice, but alas, no. Is the Force Awakens is very heavily inspired by A New Hope.
Yes.
I've even heard it called a modern remake of A New Hope.
Yeah.
That's okay. I think what they were looking for is, okay, how do I make the modern remake of Return of the Jedi? How do I mirror Vader's storyline, where his redemption arc, and that's what they were going for with Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
I don't think it landed the way they intended, but that's my read of what they were going after.
Yeah, and again, when you rewatch the sequels, Force Awakens, you're like, all right, that's pretty solid start to this new era, this new trilogy. And it gets you excited, and then it goes completely, different, and that's because the story wasn't written out. So it's like, yeah, this director's going to come put his stamp on it, which I don't fault him for. Like, I appreciated what he tried to do, but it's just like there was no conversations of what was set up before. So now it's just like he undid The Force Awakens, and then we have to spend the next movie on doing that. And so it's just like the trilogy is a mess. As a trilogy, it's a mess.
To be fair, though, and it's been a while since I read like the leaked scripts and stuff that they had for the last movie, but
I do that weekly. And it upsets me.
least surprising thing. But I do remember it being a lot like the way that they originally had things. It makes the changes that happen in the Last Jedi make sense and kind of come around. And so it does feel like a full.
Well,
arc.
it gave like kind of Rey the reverse Luke arc, kind of like she's kind of like, yeah, maybe the Jedi aren't the answer, but she's also not on the dark side. And Kylo just stayed there, which was like, that's kind of cool. And it made Finn more relevant, which, I mean, he's the most underutilized character in the sequels to me. Like, he was the best character, a Force-sensitive stormtrooper. Like, we got something. And then like, oh yeah, we forgot we did that. So I think the reason it's down there is because it's just like, this is the end, right? This is the end of the trilogy. And it's just like, it's just a letdown for the end. I just wish they wouldn't have connected to the Skywalker. Like, just, it would have been fine if it was its own characters. And even if it was its own characters and did what it did, still would have been not as bad, because they're not trying to save anything or be like, we have to give this character redemption. I don't know. It's just a mess. And it upsets me.
Okay.
I actually agree, and that's a pretty good segue for my list. We have some agreement.
You're like, all right, start at the bottom. Empire Strikes Back.
We have some wild disagreement, but here we go. So my personal ranking, number 11 at the very bottom, we have The Rise of Skywalker. Number 10, Solo: A Star Wars Story. Number 9, The Phantom Menace. Number 8, Attack of the Clones. Number 7, Return of the Jedi. Number 6, Revenge of the Sith. Number 5, The Last Jedi. Number 4, Rogue One. Number 3, The Force Awakens. Number 2, A New Hope, or Star Wars. And number 1, The Empire Strikes Back.
Prequel snob.
Bring it at me.
A prequel snob.
A prequel snob.
Yeah, they're all low. You snobbed them away.
Oh, I see. I mean, like I said, I do hold the Revenge of the Sith in higher regard than a lot of the movies. It's kind of middle of the pack for me, but it never quite reaches the heights of the best original movies or the best sequel movies. So,
But if you go back and watch the prequels, what you did, it's
did.
mirroring America right now.
I mean, you can
George
say that,
Lucas knew what he was doing.
You can say that about
He's like,
a
that's
lot.
why they appreciate these movies today, because it's a blueprint of what's going to happen.
I mean, it's, I think that's one interesting thing about all the different trilogies is they do have things that mirror like current political situations. And we might talk about that later too, but yeah, I know my top one being Empire isn't the most original take.
Well, it doesn't matter.
out there,
It's
but
what you like.
It is. And I mean, I went back and forth about either making that one or A New Hope my number one. I think the reason I leaned Empire was because I thought it advanced the world that was set up in A New Hope in a way that just made sense. It kind of delved you deeper into the world, and I think, almost objectively speaking, for the most part, has like the most iconic Star Wars things in there. You know,
Yeah.
the Darth Vader reveal, the Hoth battle, the carbonite scene with
It's got a lot.
saying, "I know." You know, it has a lot of the introduction of Yoda. I mean,
It's got a lot.
it's hard
I
to
get
beat.
it. I get it. Return of the Jedi is low on your list. Why is that?
It is. I feel like, and it's one of those that any given day could like rise up a couple notches on my list. The reason I have it lower, where did I have it? I had it 7. I think it's, in a similar way that The Force Awakens is a little bit derivative. I don't mind that film as much as I don't mind the derivativeness in that one as much as I do with Return of the Jedi. Like the rebuild of the Death Star, like just another battle there. I don't really love the scene on Endor at the end. Like it's fine. It's not. I don't think it's like the most exciting final battle in the series.
But Anakin destroys the Sith.
He does.
Come
I thought the final confrontation with Luke and Palpatine and Vader was good, but it almost, I don't know, it for some reason it doesn't hit as hard for me.
You don't like Ewoks. That's it.
I don't like Ewoks that much.
See?
I got to be honest.
That's it.
They're fine.
You
I
can
don't know.
tell. You can tell.
But
You can tell Will's older than me just by that.
Well, and I get the approach to the Ewoks. No, I enjoy Ewoks. This is not a critique on them. But there is a misalignment where you're like, okay, these bunch of furry teddy bears are taking on the military force of
Yeah.
the galaxy. Like there's
Yeah.
a slight misalignment there.
It doesn't make sense.
like if it were Wookiees, for instance, then it would be like, okay, that would be
or
cool.
they just had grown up Ewoks. Just like
yeah.
like that would have been fine. No, I get that. And that's a big critique. I
Yeah.
get it. It doesn't make sense.
It's got a lot of cool things in it too. The opening is great with Luke, rescuing
Jabba's
Han and
palace
Leia.
is great.
Jabba's palace.
Speeder bike sequence, great.
Yeah, it's got some cool stuff. Expands the world a little bit.
Luke's green lightsaber, great.
The screen lightsaber.
Come on, guys.
But yeah, that's why I kind of land there.
We have some crossover. I think
There's one we knew we'd have a lot of difference between.
Last Jedi.
Not as much as we talked
Well,
about.
the way you said it sounded like it was your number one. I was like, oh no.
Listen, I just rewatched it. It's very, very fresh. And like outside of the Canto Bite scene and just the general use of Finn in that movie, I pretty much love most of it. Like I love the Luke stuff. I love the Rey and Kylo connection and them exploring that and them kind of making their alternate choices. One reason I'm so low on the Rise of Skywalker, kind of similar to you, is that I feel like Kylo made his choice twice in the series, and that's why the third one makes no sense to me. But I liked that dynamic they explored in Last Jedi probably the best. I just think there's a lot of great stuff. It's I think the most beautiful Star Wars movie to watch, like cinematography speaking.
Really?
Yeah.
It seems very gray to me.
You mentioned besides Canto Bite.
Yeah.
Talk to us about like what didn't hit for you on that sequence.
It just felt kind of out of left field. like from a story standpoint, it just felt like Ryan Johnson couldn't think of an integral way to make Finn part of the plot, and so he just gave him his own little side adventure.
See, I actually read that section very differently.
Okay.
Which is the entire Canto Bight sequence is Finn off on a pointless quest that he ultimately fails, and it's showing how difficult, or in some cases pointless, the rebellion actually is against this larger force.
Yeah.
So thematically, I think it nails it.
Yeah.
There's also some fun sequences in it. I actually think that's one of the better parts of The Last Jedi.
Interesting.
Okay.
See, here's one part I hate about it. They're like, there's only one code breaker in the world that can do this, and then there's also this random guy that can do it that we found too. And it's like, why didn't Benicio del Toro just play the code breaker? Like, why wasn't he the guy they were looking for?
Yeah.
Because that just seems like no one can do it. Well, this homeless guy can. Why not just make him the character that could do it? I don't get that. And I was already upset because I was just like, what is this? Now, I'll admit, the first time I watched Last Jedi, I was like, dang, this is crazy. This is cool. I think I like it a lot. And then that movie is, I think, the first movie that's ever done this. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, this might be peak Star Wars. The longer I sat with it, the lower it got on my list until I realized, wait, I think it just undoes a lot of things that just I don't like. And it can't be high if it's like, but I hate this. Now I don't know if I like any of it.
Yeah.
But the first viewing, I was like, this might be the best Star Wars ever. And then it just slowly started to fade. And
Ironically, for me, it's kind of middle of the pack with some days where I have it a little bit higher. But
yeah, I mean, it is, I don't know, there's just changing Luke to me. It's just like, I think this is my problem bringing characters back. Their story ended and they won. And then the Empire comes back stronger than ever. You're like, but they won. They did it. And it's just like, just go off and do not the Skywalker. We don't need to see any of them.
Yep.
I mean, you still could have used Luke as like maybe like a Force ghost somewhere, but like not his story. No, don't make him a character.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted them to be like cameos, like woo, that was cool, but not like no, we're looking for Luke. Like he is a part of the story, and then you find him, and you're like, well, we still haven't found him.
Yeah.
Your list isn't terrible.
thank
You made it sound so much worse.
Oh.
I'm scared of Sean's. Sean scares me.
I was just rage baiting Travis yesterday.
He's like Solo in Last Jedi, top tier. Like, oh god.
Solo would be my bottom. The reason I have it one notch above Rise of Skywalker is because I feel like Solo's biggest crime is that it's boring and unnecessary, but it's not a poorly made film. Whereas Rise of Skywalker, I feel like it's just completely, as Sean was saying earlier, it's basically just a movie to undo what was done before, breaking the first rule of improvisation, the yes and.
Yeah.
And, just completely rejects story progress for appeasing nostalgia and immature basement dwellers.
Well, me and John talked about Solo recently and how it is literally like they picked the only character in all of Star Wars that we don't need to know.
He already had a story arc, like a complete character. Here's where he started. Here's where he ends.
He's kind of a scumbag guy that only cares about himself, and then he became selfless.
I don't need to know how he got his gun or how he got his name or like.
Well, yeah, it's dumb. It's like literally we said Chewbacca would have been a more interesting movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that guy doesn't even talk.
Now, like them trying to retroactively fix some flubs from the original series. For example, parsec, where people are like, it's a measure of distance. Okay, they explained that.
Yeah.
Sure. Did we need that explained?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Did we need to understand the first time that Lando and Han met? Yes, I know it wasn't technically the first time, but did we need to understand that? No. Like, it doesn't deepen our understanding of the universe, the characters,
No.
their relationship in any
Well,
meaningful
it's like they
way.
picked the only character that had no mystery left to him.
We got a good Harrison Ford impression, though. Yeah. With that.
All right, Sean, I think we're ready
Okay.
to hear your list.
In last place is The Last Jedi. In 10 is Solo. Number 9 is The Phantom Menace. Number 8, Rise of Skywalker. Number 7, Return of the Jedi. Number 6, Empire Strikes Back. Number 5 is The Force Awakens. Number 4 is Attack of the Clones. Number 3 is A New Hope. Number 2 is Rogue One. Number 1 is Revenge of the Sith.
All right.
Wow.
Got a couple of Revenge of the Sith people.
We got a
panel
lot
here.
of variety on all three of our lists.
Yeah.
We all hit different areas at different parts of the list.
So the reason why Last Jedi is dead last for me.
Okay.
It's because it says last in the title. It has to be there.
You knew it.
It
No,
was instructional.
I actually enjoy most of that film, but there is one scene that, even visually spectacular, it hurts me,
Okay.
which is the Holdo maneuver.
Okay.
If you can take a ship and you go to light speed and it destroys an entire fleet, every space battle is now won with a junker, a hyperdrive, and a droid. I can destroy the Death Star. And so every space battle just became moot from that one scene.
Yes, so.
Now, they tried to write it off in Rise of Skywalker. It's like, oh, it was a 1 in a million. That normally doesn't work. But that's poor backtracking to try and make something happen. But that one scene means the trench run was pointless. It means the space battles in
You
Revenge
can
of the
just go to
Sith
light speed in the
were
trench.
pointless. Like, all of this just broke down from that one scene. And that is why it's at the bottom for me, because it breaks the rules of Star Wars.
Over just one scene?
Yes.
That's it?
Sometimes that's all it takes.
That's wild. Yeah. I mean, I get that. Logistically, that makes sense to me. I never really, I can see plenty of explanations to kind of cover your bases a little bit, but I mean, I get your reasoning there.
Just can't do the Holdo maneuver, man. Like, it is
You
is
could
so
have
bad.
cut like Luke's arm off, give him a wooden arm. Fine. Luke could have started a Sith Academy. Fine.
Yeah, that's fair. If that's what completely takes you out of it, it happens. I think we got to address the elephant in the room, though, which is Empire at number 6. Explain yourself, sir.
So, and this is not going to resonate with a lot of people.
Sure.
I have a debilitating fear of snakes. Every scene on Dagobah has snakes in it, in the background, in slithering, and it is anxiety inducing in me when I watch Empire Strikes Back.
Gotcha. So it's an anxiety response is why.
Yeah.
Honestly, having that explanation now, it's honestly impressive that you have it as high as you do, since you're not able to watch it at all.
It is a difficult
Yeah.
watch, honestly.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay, snakes. All right.
Mm.
I thought you were just going to be like, you know what? I don't think Darth Vader was his father.
No,
I don't agree with it.
Again, I actually think the pacing, the dialogue, the acting, there's so much about that film I like.
Yeah.
And then it gets to Dagobah and my skin crawls.
You're like, you could have just had it any kind of other planet.
And I would have been fine. Now, I get they're trying to show like it's this vibrant, life-filled swamp. But why snakes?
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
You could do anything else. That's so
Swamps, snake. I mean, they could have done frogs, I guess. I don't know.
Swamps, they have an alligator. Go to town on the alligators. I'm fine with that.
It could just be an alligator planet.
If it has legs, I'm cool. I can't
That's
do the snakes.
honestly hilarious.
If it has legs, I'm cool. Write it down, baby. That's going on a t-shirt.
That's going on a t-shirt. It has legs, I'm cool. Who would have thought? Legless creatures, Sean's kryptonite.
yeah.
It's very uncomfortable for me.
Interesting. Okay.
Let's talk about Attack of the Clones. It's high on your list.
Yes. So I think the Naboo scenes are terrible in that film.
Yeah.
The dialogue's bad, the acting's stiff, and it's cringe.
Yeah.
But it also has Obi-Wan Kenobi being a force of nature and a detective-driven Jedi for a big part of the plot.
Yeah.
Where he has one dart that he has to track down, which leads him to Kamino, which uncovers an entire clone army that's been made for the Republic that they had nothing about.
That they'll just like, yeah, we'll take this.
They find corruption inside the Jedi archives, which ultimately culminates in the start of this massive intergalactic war with some freaking awesome fight scenes.
Oh yeah. I mean,
There's some cool scenes.
I think like you pick scenes that you're like, I don't like it because of this, right? I wanted it higher on my list. The dialogue is hard to get through in this one. And there's a lot of it. And you're like, yeah, all the Naboo stuff, all the Anakin talking stuff is rough.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing Yoda fight almost made me forget about that. But when you rewatch it, there's a lot of it to get to the Yoda fight.
My favorite scene of that entire film is actually Anakin going back to the Tusken Raiders. Like that is the like his true start and the descent, and
It's
you
cool.
feel it, and oh, it's so good.
I was watching some reel today, and ironically, a Star Wars one came up because it heard me, and we'll talk about this, I guess. But these guys were talking about how Attack of the Clones should have started at Geonosis. Like, that's where the movie should start. Like, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme are captured. Like, there's the scroll, and then the movie starts there, and then you just see the craziness of the battle. And the whole movie is that. I was like, one, I'm on board to see that. But like you said, Detective Obi-Wan is sweet. And finding the clone army, my thing is them accepting it. Like, we don't know what this is from or who did this. We'll use it. Like, they're like, yes, we made this order.
Well, I actually think that's really important to the entire lore, because if you look at the history of faith-based militant organizations, in our world, those have never gone great. Like there's problems associated with them. And so the corruption of the Jedi is an ongoing story arc throughout all of this where, this faith-based militant organization has the power to get even more strength and more authority.
Mm-hmm.
They're likely going to take that, especially as the corruption deepens.
I mean,
So it was a free gimme to enhance
as
that.
Sidious knew they would. Yeah, there's a lot of awesome things that set up Star Wars, and but there's a lot of things in that are just so cringy. But I count Yoda pulling his lightsaber out because I mean, we only speculated that he was an awesome fighter. Like, he's Master Yoda, right? He's got to be. And then when you see it happen, it does not disappoint. It's awesome.
When he stops and redirects Force lightning, like there's a lot of awesome.
It's
going
one
on.
of the coolest cinematic moments in history.
Do you prefer his fight in Attack of the Clones over Revenge?
Yeah, he loses in Revenge.
Revenge. It's so good when they're in the Senate and they're throwing the different platforms at each other.
The set piece is better in Revenge, but the overall fight, like just the shock of him pulling his robe back and just like, I think we're gonna see this. It's like none of us thought that would happen, and so it's like a shock to all of us, at least to me.
So I saw prequels right when they first came out in theaters. I actually worked at a movie theater when this was all coming out, and I remember when Yoda did that. Like every single time, the theater would erupt in cheers.
Yeah,
It's so good. It's so good.
Now, a question I've gotten before on this topic is like, you just said you hate the scenes in Naboo, but you still rated Attack of the Clones high, and you called out one scene in The Last Jedi, and it's the bottom of your list.
sure.
He's answered the comments before they come in.
The main difference is one scene that is just eye-rolling, i.e. the love dialogue between Anakin and Padme. Sure, no problem. I don't like it, but whatever, it's there. The problem with the Holdo maneuver is it has lasting implications for the entirety of Star Wars. So it's not just the scene. As I said, the scene itself, visually fantastic. The implications of it that really bother me.
Sure.
I get it. Will, were there any other shocking things?
I
on
think we
his
called out
list?
the major ones. I was going to bring up Attack of the Clones, but you did. No, I think
You both have Phantom Menace really low.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Explain.
I can explain in 3 syllables what's wrong with Phantom Menace. Jar Jar Binks. The most insufferable character in all of Star Wars. In revisiting the movies recently, it had been a while since I've seen Phantom Menace. And I think as a kid, when I saw Phantom Menace, I was on board with Jar Jar. Because he's a character made for the kids. But, oh my gosh, is he not the most insufferable? Like, it was almost unbearable to watch. Like, as good as the Darth Maul lightsaber duel is, and Duel of the Fates, and as cool as the pod race is, there's so much of Jar Jar in Phantom Menace. That's why it's the lowest ranked of the prequels, and if there weren't so many other egregious things wrong with the bottom 2, it would have made the bottom of my list.
So I still enjoy, for what it's worth, I enjoy every one of these 11 films. I'm a big fan. But with The Phantom Menace, where I think it has the biggest problems is that it replaces agency with luck. And what I mean by that is it's not the Jedi are solving this problem or diplomatic relationships are solving this. It is Jar Jar bumped into something, got a blaster attached to his foot, and he took out 10 different droids.
Yeah.
Or Anakin happened to sit in a cockpit, then happened to take off and happened to destroy. And so this is less about the agency of the characters and more of happenstance luck is driving the success forward. And I believe that detracts from the experience.
Yeah, that last scene with Anakin and the spaceship is pretty rough too.
A lot of Anakin. See, to me, I think the Anakin Padme dialogue is more insufferable than Jar Jar. That's why it's lower on my list than that one. Darth Maul is worth every bit of what's in that movie. Like, he's one of the greatest characters in Star Wars. Seeing the double-ended lightsaber. Also, my head exploded. Didn't know that could happen. We didn't know that was a rule.
We didn't.
And
Your head exploded.
it made no sense when he opened it that way. Like, what is this guy doing?
Your head exploded, and you were still able to watch Attack of the Clones somehow.
Somehow. Put it back together.
Well, while we're on the topic,
Yeah.
let's dive into Darth Maul a little bit because I think this is genuinely fascinating. And I cannot think of another character who's been on a similar journey. Darth Maul was basically mute. Technically, he has a few lines of dialogue,
Yes.
but he's basically mute and just there to look cool and be a physical antagonist to the Jedi. Great. Duel of the Fates, the music, the scene, incredible choreography. I love it. But he, as a character, was more of a force of nature than an actual character.
Yeah.
Then, 2008, we got the animated Clone Wars series. And it brought Darth Maul back and expanded his character in meaningful ways.
Mhm.
So he got deeper characterization, and he actually switched from a force of nature to an actual character. The animated series Rebels brought him back again and gave it even more. Then he had a cameo in Solo. Now he has his own cartoon show with Shadow Lord.
Mhm.
Can you think of another character who over a 27-year span has had started out as a nothing to become one of the most popular and in-depth characters in an entire franchise?
I'm going to come back with an answer for you, but
I mean, top of mind, not as drastic as Darth. I mean, yeah, Darth Maul was basically a statue that we then care about. You know,
yeah.
And
no, it's incredible.
And to use a similar piece from the original trilogy, Boba Fett is the Darth Maul of that trilogy. He's mostly silent. Technically, he has a few lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
He does cool stuff.
Yeah,
He is an antagonist, but we didn't know much about him from it.
Yeah.
He came back in the Book of Boba Fett, and he was nowhere near as well received. Yes, Boba Fett was technically in Attack of the Clones. He also had parts in Clone Wars, the animated series. So his character has expanded, but he has not expanded or become nearly as beloved as Darth Maul, or at this point just Maul.
Yeah.
But it's a fascinating journey for a character who went from, well, that looks cool, to here's this fully fleshed out, rabid fan base around him.
Yeah, I was always skeptical on the Boba Fett, like how he got so popular. I know he just looks cool, but it's like so many people are like, Boba Fett's my favorite character. I was like, man, Boba Fett sucks. Like he literally gets killed by a blind guy who can't see. Like he does nothing. Like he does nothing in the. He carries Han to Jabba's palace in his ship. He doesn't even do the carbonite. Like they do.
I think with a certain age demographic, I think Boba Fett is still as popular as a Darth Maul.
Yeah.
I don't think he's generationally as popular as Darth Maul.
No.
And hasn't, like you said, had quite as much character development over the past 20 years. But
No, and that's why I like Phantom Menace. Well, I love the pod race. I love the pod race.
Oh, for sure.
I was like, oh my gosh, give us a freaking Disney Plus show and following some pod races around like a Formula One.
oh, we
like,
even
come
we even
on.
get a, like, what is it, 4-second cameo of Ara Singh just during the pod race. You're like, this is for us super fans. I love it.
It's awesome. Anakin's dialogue, oh my. I don't blame him.
he's a
He
kid.
did what George wanted.
Yeah, he's a kid.
He's a kid. And
Are there
most
better kid actors? Could they have gotten Haley Joel Osment? Maybe.
Maybe.
Would have been better. Yeah.
We will never know.
Yeah.
Would have been better. Maybe. My thing is, George Lucas still got. I mean, Natalie Portman has won an Oscar.
Yeah.
So he hired actors with that caliber and that range. He got what he wanted.
And Hayden
out of them.
Christensen isn't a terrible actor. He just wasn't great in, especially the first two.
It's
prequels.
he did exactly
Yeah.
what he was supposed to, though. Like
Yeah.
he played it exactly how George wanted to. And then when you see him, when you go back and look at it, you see like, well, he did play the character in a way that makes sense for the character. I think the problem with the big gap where you like wait a long time to do something is like in your head, you're like, I've already written the prequels and here what they are, and then they're not that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't want a movie every year, but like if you're gonna do something like where you answer stuff we don't know, do not wait too long because they waited too. It just was too long.
Well, one movie we haven't really touched upon at all,
Yeah,
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Well, I'll have it pretty high.
We do.
I-
4 on my list.
4 on mine.
2 on
Two,
mine,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
I believe is the highest of the Disney era films.
Yeah,
Collectively, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it's great. I mean,
It's incredible. It made New Hope higher on my list because of it. If Rogue One didn't exist, it would have been lower.
Yeah, it made Darth Vader cooler, if that's possible.
Yeah, it made him scary.
Yeah.
That hallway scene is peak Star Wars.
It's worth whatever. They could have done whatever they wanted in the movie, honestly.
Yeah.
It could have been an hour and 45 minutes of talking in a jail cell, and it ends that way. I'm still on board because that was the fear that they were talking about, Darth Vader had. Because we'd never really seen it.
Yeah.
Well, there's parts of this that I think are fascinating. So earlier I mentioned the parsec and how Solo, like, it told the story of that, but it didn't need to. Rogue One tells the story of why would there be such a fatal flaw in the Death Star,
Yeah.
and contextualizes something that was dumb into something smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something great.
And why? Because someone was forced to design it, and so his act of rebellion was building the flaw into it. Like that's an incredible way to say, hey, we're taking this thing that people have mocked us for 35 years
Yeah.
and making it something of value behind it. What I think stands out the most about Rogue One, though, is that it shows the more gritty nature of the rebellion. And not just the like glamorized version
Yeah.
of Luke's starry-eyed, I want to go join the rebellion in the New
Right.
Hope, but like a Cassian Andor in the opening scene literally murders a person.
Yeah.
Cold blood, just pop. And it's fascinating to see that's the guy who's willing to do whatever it takes against the Empire.
It's the only Star Wars movie where you feel the war.
Well, yeah, because it's too cartoony in the original, like good versus evil.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really understand. Their rebels aren't good, right? The rebels to us would be the group of people outside of the military, just like civilians, and that's scary. Like that would be terrifying if you go into a neighborhood and they're like blowing up military people. Like you're like, that's
Yeah.
unhinged. And it showed that it's not pretty.
Yeah.
Rebellion's not pretty. War's not pretty.
Right.
And yeah, it didn't like make it like
No, and
we're good, the good guys. Like, nobody's really good in this scenario.
not at all. And it had great character arcs. So
Yeah.
like Galen Erso, we already talked about. But then even Saw Gerrera,
Yeah.
fascinating character for how much he's willing to give up, like literally parts of his body constantly
Yeah.
for this effort.
Yeah. It made me question, like, all of us are like, are we going to care for a group of characters we know die? Like, we know are going to die. Like, this is just like, obviously they can't live because where the heck were they? And I did. And I was invested and I was still hopeful they got out. Like, maybe they'll get out.
There was a part of me like
We'll go back in New Hope. There's just one of them. Oh, there he is in the background. Not important.
There was a part of me towards the end of the movie that I thought they were going to give one or two characters away out of it, and I'm really glad they didn't.
So I read an interview that they said with the original script, they did have like the party making it out alive. And as they were going through, they're like, no, they all need to go down.
Everybody in the movie basically has to die that's not outside of that plan, because you're just like, where were all these huge players in this? Because even the Empire side, like, where the heck was this guy? Like, they wouldn't have answers to that. And so, I mean, it's crazy that you care that much, knowing that, like, you know the outcome before you start the movie.
Ben Mendelsohn's character, Director Krennic, fascinating. I know a lot of people are fans of Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah.
He never did anything for me. He just kind of existed. He was fine. But Director Krennic, like, I am on board. I am invested. I am there for it.
Yeah, it's an incredible movie, and it made you excited because this was like the kind of first, we're gonna do these Star Wars stories they're a part of it but not. And I was like, oh man, if this is the route we're taking, you're just gonna enhance everything we already know. Then they quickly stopped, but this one did make A New Hope crazy. The opening sequence crazy. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Like, because the fear wasn't there when I watched it the first time. I was like, whatever. Like, but seeing like if they don't get it, they're done. They're all done. The rebellion's done. Empire wins. Like, that's how close it was, and like to see it play out, you're like, dude, this is incredible.
Literally seconds before.
Yeah, literally, right as the other one starts, you're just like, okay, I didn't think it was going to end like right there. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And it made Vader scary.
Speaking of ending right there, how do we feel about the Leia?
CGI Leia.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah.
Neither was Tarkin.
Yeah.
But my thing is, most CGI people aren't.
CGI people?
CGI people, I don't agree with it. just show the back of their head or something. I don't need to hear them talk.
It actually didn't bother me at all. I think it was them trying to have more connective tissue.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm on board with that. There are times where the uncanny valley can be a bit too much. I didn't experience that here. I thought it was, no, like, I clearly know who this is supposed to be and the scenario that it's
I think it
Just a
would have
little bit.
just been as powerful just seeing the like
Back of
them hand it to her, like, and not have her say anything. It still would have had the same impact. To me, Tarkin looked great until he talked, and that's the problem. Human lips are what is hard to make look natural. And like, if Tarkin just didn't say anything, he was just like in rooms, it would have been fine. Or you just don't show his face. Like, just come on, use your strength, guys. You're like, that didn't look very good. Let's just. But I mean, it didn't ruin the movie for me. You're just like, well, that wasn't amazing, but the rest of it was. Like, Darth Vader was amazing. So now if they would have CGI'd a janky Darth Vader, then we'd have some issues. But
It's pretty great.
it's great. It's an incredible movie. I think it deserves to be high on lists.
Yeah.
which it is.
The only reason I don't have it higher, I don't really have anything like super negative to say about the movie. It's just more so that the ones I have above it, I have more fun with. And that's kind of
Yeah.
where I land with Star Wars. So
Yeah, I mean, mine.
Rogue was not a fun movie.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing. Yeah. You guys want to have a good time?
Yeah.
Check this out. There's not one scene you feel good about.
Yeah.
It's all negative.
Yeah. Next phase of this is we each get the keys to Lucasfilm. We are the new Dave Filoni
Yes.
or Kathleen Kennedy or whoever. And we're given the task of these are the next 5 years of Star Wars post, whatever we're getting here in the next year.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
My 5-year plan is one trilogy. We're just doing one trilogy of movies. The first year is writing the trilogy from start to end. We know where it starts. We know where it ends. The same writer is in charge of all of that. The movie is set in the Knights of the Old Republic era.
Oh, beautiful.
And it's going to be a lot grittier and more medieval feeling, like not the nice part of the galaxy. I don't know exactly where this takes place. Planet we don't know, characters we don't know, things we don't know. But focusing on just the grittiness of like a planet that doesn't have all the technology that some of the rest of the galaxy has. And there's lots of power dynamics with whoever's in charge there, and just kind of Game of Thronesy, but Star Wars, and really dark. It's really, the Sith feel evil. They feel unescapable. The Jedi feel hopeless because, like, obviously their power is just, it doesn't compete with no rules. Mm-hmm. And like we follow just a brand new group of characters, and I just think don't connect it to Star Wars at all, and just explore just new areas of Star Wars and kind of just invent a whole new kind of thing. I think Jedi and Sith are still central to the story. Mm-hmm. I still want that element to tie it together, but keep it away from characters we know, things we know, and just like, let's go in this with fresh eyes. But I think a more gritty, different visual take on Star Wars and giving it a new life. Like, people have to like, everyone's basically poor unless you're the elite and that dynamic. So we have like a kind of rebellion, but it's not for like the empire. It's just like this specific kingdom that they're in. And we follow characters that are in that and trying to, overthrow that. That's where I think I'd be so down to see something like that. And it would be just a fresh, like not Disney-fied version of Star Wars. And give us nothing to compare it to, because you're just like, well, this is literally like nothing else. So that would be my trilogy. It would end with like not open-ended. Like that story would end.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means exactly, but I would love to see something like that. And I think getting away from what we know is the best direction. And I don't know how quickly we can do that with things still connected into the Star Wars universe in the recent future coming up. But after that, I think just like fresh start.
That's good. I kind of am of the same mindset if I were given the keys. I think keeping the theatrical release to a trilogy, that's kind of what Star Wars is. Not that I haven't liked some of the spin-offs. Obviously, we all loved Rogue One. But I think, a new trilogy separated from the Skywalker saga is definitely the direction I would go. Kind of how I outlined it in my mind. So it's going to be like a couple centuries in the future. Like the Jedi have been rebuilt by Rey. And so it's like a new kind of Jedi order. They're kind of more separate from like the government and, the way they were in the past. They're more kind of just peacekeepers, but not like, government officials. But I think my trilogy would still follow like a trio focusing on the Jedi. I think it'd be cool to have like a bounty hunter kind of take on more of like the Han Solo role, like maybe like a bounty hunter on the run, kind of turning to kind of more the light, and then have the third part of the trio be like not like a Padme type character, but not in like the royal kind of way, like just part of the government, but kind of like your idealist. So like you have your like Jedi apprentice, and then like your person kind of from the underworld of things, and then from the political side of things, kind of making up your trio. But one thing I've always kind of been fascinated by that I like when they continue to like update is just more Force mythology. So I'd like to kind of get a peek at what the, not necessarily the origins of the Force, but like finding a different arena, like there was a source of it that was found. So like the way I kind of thought about it was my main Jedi character would be having visions of the past that were brought on by the Force, and that would kind of connect to like the present day story going on. But that's kind of where I was leaning with my trilogy. So kind of having that Force story where like there's, you know, things that get revealed about the source through like visions, and then you have your kind of you know, in a cyclical kind of way, the government updates itself the way, you know, citizens of the galaxy kind of mirror our world in the ways we forget about certain aspects of the past, and certain people rising to power that you don't really expect if you know your history books. So kind of mirroring that with like a Sith pulling the strings in the background the way that Palpatine did in the prequels. But that's kind
It
of
is Palpatine. Somehow
Palpatine's
he's
back.
returned
So-
again.
Don't spoil my ending, Travis. but
This seems like Palpatine. Who? You know that guy.
but that's kind of how I see like a trilogy of movies going. Gonna get Ryan Coogler to direct that trilogy.
Interesting.
Because why the hell not? You know,
Why not? Why not? We got the keys. We can make decisions.
He already works with Disney, you know.
Yeah, we can do it.
But then I still want to utilize Disney Plus, just not to as large an extent, and kind of explore some pockets of Star Wars that aren't just like characters from past projects. So I'd like to explore like different worlds like you, but you know, one series which, funny enough, you brought up earlier, I would do like a pod racing series, which
Heck yeah.
it would be like a
Heck
limited
yeah.
series, kind of like a Cool Runnings of the Star Wars universe, where you have like a circuit like Legend training somebody for
Who's never
like the
pod
circuit.
raced before?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Now, since you brought up Cool Runnings, and this
Yeah.
is related to Star Wars,
Sure.
I absolutely need the character to say, "I'll freeze in this" at one point during it.
Done. So we'll look at like the pod racing world. I'd like to have something that kind of explores genre a little bit more too. So gonna have like a Halloween special that's kind of like a haunted house story in the Star Wars universe. So something like, you know, some explorers come across an ancient Jedi temple or cave or something that's over like a Force nexus, that they start getting like hauntings and stuff like that. So
I'm in.
I
That's
mean,
good. I stayed away from Disney Plus. I tried to put all the focus on the movies because I'm just scared that we're doing too much. But I love your ideas. Those are great.
yeah. See, I want the projects that we're doing on Disney Plus to be accessible to people who don't need any background. They can just jump right into them. They don't necessarily have any impact on what's happening in the movies, so you can kind of have everything or have one thing, you know, just kind of jump in. And then I thought it would also be cool to do like almost like an Ocean's 11 in space kind of show as well. So like a heist show in
Star Wars heist.
in like Coruscant or something, like a smuggler like gets a ragtag crew together to heist like a banking tower or something. So just different little projects like that you can kind of have in between the release of the trilogy movies, and then keep it focused on just pushing the story forward in theaters.
It's good. It's good. I like it. I'm all for it. When do we start these projects?
I mean, Dave Filoni's watching. It's up to him.
Okay. If there's a pod racing show in the next year, we're suing. That was Will's idea.
Yeah.
All right, Sean.
Okay.
What
What
would
do you
you
got?
do? You got the keys.
You got the keys. Did you just lock the door and say,
It's like,
done here?
no more Star Wars.
Absolutely not. But what I would do is a mix of theatrical releases, animated shows, and some live action Disney Plus shows.
Okay.
What I would do on the movie front is one, I would do it set in the High Republic era from the viewpoint of the Space Vikings. So this is built around not good people who basically just go around and maraud, and like the entire viewpoint is from them when they're stealing from the Jedi, when they're stealing from the entire ecosystem and how they live as these robbers and scavengers. I think there's a fascinating pitch there.
I like it.
Yeah.
Another one I would do is I would do a film based off of, there was a comic book series called Star Wars Legacy. It's set years and years and years after what was the original trilogy. And it follows Luke's great-great-great-grandson or something like that, who is a death stick, i.e. a drug addict, like terrible person. And I think it would be fascinating to be like, here's the legacy of your heroes. Here's this drug addict. He can use the Force. He doesn't care. He's going to cheat. He's going to
He
swindle.
uses it to get drugs.
And like, I think a movie about him would be a fascinating watch.
This is like your Joker of the Star Wars universe.
Kind of.
Kind
Now,
of.
he still has a redemption arc in the comics, so
Okay.
he's not just a terrible person. But starting from a place of, no, here's a person who actively hates the Jedi, tries to reject his heritage, and is a drug user, is a very interesting place to start a Star Wars story from.
So you're making an Oscar play with this one.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Okay.
And then the third film that I would make is I would actually do a legacy sequel about Rey and Finn and Poe and what they've been up to. But this would be like the very end of it. So we're 15 years past the last time we saw any of these characters. And what's actually happened during those 15 years. Now, I know that's one of the films that they've announced is in development and then been canceled and brought back and then canceled. I still think there's a lot of untapped potential there to be like, okay, Rey, who actually didn't get Jedi training, but has these ancient Jedi texts, does she even understand them? Does she even want to use them? Does she want to rebuild the Jedi Order? Does she want to inspire a new take on and philosophy on Force powers and the belief system around it? I think there's an interesting character study there to go through it. All three of these would be unrelated, so it's not a trilogy. They're more standalone stories. But that's what I would do on the movie front.
Okay. Good.
On the live action TV show front, I think it would be fascinating to have a more slice of life type show where it's set on a single planet.
Okay.
And there's people who don't know anything about the Empire, the Republic. And so they're just quaint people like living their lives. And when you look up in the sky, the world's on fire and Armageddon's coming down because a giant space battle is happening that they have no bloody idea what any of this is.
Okay.
So not even like spacefaring technology, I'm ready. Just if we looked up one day and giant star destroyers were in our atmosphere and having a space battle, what would we all do during that?
This is a comedy.
Could be.
Lord of Miller, come on back, baby.
It's like Full House, but it's Star Wars. There's this Star Wars battle going on. I'm like, man, what is that noise?
Well,
We're trying to record.
I toyed with the idea of a sitcom in Star Wars. I couldn't piece it together, but
well, here's your pitch.
there it is. I'm in. I'm on board.
And then I would like to have another live action series that says, okay, whether this is Dawn of the Jedi or the Old Republic, or we go way, way back in the past where there's no one we're going to possibly have any relationship to. Is it the exact same universe and galaxy that we know? Or are there differences if we go back 10,000 years? Likely there's going to be some differences. Maybe it's not drastic, but I think it would be fascinating to see, okay, how did the Jedi come to power? Like, how did the Jedi become this respected order throughout it all? some of my favorite novels are the Darth Bane trilogy within Star Wars, where it talks about the rule of two and how there used to be tons and tons of Sith, and then how it became a smaller because of the infighting. And I'm not saying adapt those exactly, but I think there's still elements of that of how do we show this ancient civilization that's a little bit different. They're still more advanced. There's still space travel and all of that. But then also, your enemy wasn't two people hiding in the shadows. Your enemy was armies of these people who want to control you through fear and power. And I think there's something to be shown there.
You call that movie fitting The First Jedi.
There you go.
Then we're like, what? Oh, what is this?
And then on the animated front, I would keep doing what they're doing, which is take either a known war or conflict that they haven't really fleshed out and flesh that out more, or take a popular character and flesh it out more. For example, when the Knights of Ren were first shown, people were very intrigued by this. They got the short stick throughout the trilogy, and we still basically know nothing about the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
I think an animated Knights of Ren series has
be awesome.
potential.
I mean, I was super excited, like in The Force Awakens, when you see like the vision. Like I was like, man, they're gonna. I don't know exactly know what they are, but
They would have in.
They're gonna play a huge part in something, and then they finned it. They're like, oh yeah.
At least Finn got screen time.
Yes, he did.
So that would be the animated series I make. And then I love what they're doing with hiring just different animation studios to like make a short. This doesn't have to be a galactic conflict. They had the one on Tatooine, which was just a music video, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Like, go to town, guys. Keep experimenting with different animation styles, different functions.
Well, their animation is definitely the high point of the Disney era because they're going outside the box and they're just trying things. Like the Visions one, where they're just like, do your own story in Star Wars. We're interested, like more of that.
I would keep Visions going, essentially.
Yeah, it's awesome. I even like the Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Sith. Like, it's cool. It's like those things are cool. You can keep doing, and it's not like you have to recast Ewan McGregor. Like animation, there's a lot of flexibility to where you're like, it's not some janky recast that did terrible or some weird CGI thing. It's like, no, this is just our take.
So that's what I would do with Star Wars.
I like it.
That's good.
I feel like I should have added some Disney Plus shows. I'm lazy. My focus was on, I hired all the people to work on these 3 movies. Lucasfilm has no one available for anything else. I like it. It's a lot of variety. And I think these are all great directions for Star Wars to go. The most important is kind of just like, do different things. Like, we don't need the same time frame. Like,
Same like 6 people.
it's like we've been in the same 50 years of Star Wars. Like, we can get outside that and it'd still be good.
I think out of all of these, the one that has the most potential is the pod racing idea. Like there's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of personal drama. It ties back into what we know. Like,
I mean, you
there's a
basically
lot
just
there.
make F1,
Yeah.
but it's pod racers, which would be
Who
sick.
doesn't love a good sports movie?
I mean,
you know?
get Brad Pitt to do this too.
Brad Pitt is the circuit
He's
legend
the
that
guy.
trains. Yeah.
He's just some drunk on Tatooine. He's like, oh, I don't do this anymore.
I mean, the formula is right there. You know?
Guys, come on. Maybe it's already in the works.
This one is going to happen. I'm calling it.
The pod racing show will
The
happen.
pod racing show.
I can't believe I forgot this. There is another potential TV show that I'd be very interested in bringing back,
Okay.
which is Star Wars Underworld. It's written by George Lucas, Rick McCallum. They made, 50 scripts?
Mhm.
Now, they turned one of those scripts into Rogue One. And they said they've utilized elements of some of the other scripts in other projects. But there's probably still 40 plus scripts out there of George Lucas based Coruscant underworld life and stories. That would be one that I'd look at. Not right now. Like, I'd wait a couple years, but then be like, no. George Lucas legacy is back.
Having some, like, mob type show in the underworld of Coruscant. Because, I mean, Coruscant's the capital, right? What goes on? Like, they don't really ever explore it, and
There's some seedy stuff
that
out
city's insane.
So that I see holds a lot of potential and value.
That's good. No, there's a lot of good ideas.
So bring George Lucas back.
Bring him back. Wheel him in at 90 and say, we're ready.
We don't even need to bring him back. He's already done the
Yeah,
work.
the
we
work's
just
already
have to
done.
make what he already did.
It's like, hey, can we just get those? Like, give those to us.
I appreciate the lazy approach.
Well, we already have all the other projects that we
That's
have
true.
to put the work into. So this one is, okay, we've got the scripts. Let's do the pre-production, the visualizations, and let's make it.
I like it.
That's good.
So we got the variety. You kind of got all of our different perspective on what makes great Star Wars, what makes terrible Star Wars.
Good variety. I'm glad we
Honestly,
didn't have the same exact list 3 times and said the same things. That would have been boring.
I knew there was no way, but it's interesting to get the vision of the future.
It's like we each had different eras of Star Wars, higher and lower. Like yours that were higher, mine were lower, and Sean's were the opposite of both of ours. So it's like, it was great to have that.
exactly what you want in 3 different lists. But
That's right.
what about you guys? What did you think about 3 of our lists? Be kind if you can. If not, you know what? Just go for it. But while you're down in the comments section, leave your list, like the channel, and subscribe. Come back for another Cinema Clubhouse podcast.